Pardon the pun, but the purpose of this video is to show you my cheap houses for G-scale. So these buildings are bird houses, and I have 6 of them. The average price was $25, and I got them at a store here in Canada called HomeSense. I've seen them online for a whole lot more money at other stores, but for the price can't be beat. Now, they're a little bit whimsical, but when you consider that this Pico good shed cost me in the order of about 300 Canadian dollars, and this old Accucraft station I've had for a long time cost me over $200, then you know a little whimsy is not so bad. The cafe is particularly nice. Each of them have a little hole for the bird, which I've glazed over. Some of them, like this one, I've cut out the windows so the light shines through the windows. This one wasn't practical to do so there's just an overhead light. This one I drilled out little holes in the front door, which shine through quite nice, and I've put lights up in there. You'll see that later. This one, when I'm running trains at night, I'm going to assume is a closed business, so it has lights illuminating the sign and some lights under the awning there. This one, I didn't drill out any of the windows, but I do have a light inside that shines through there and one over the door. My favorite color is orange, so I put a piece of plastic up there, clear plastic from a packaging, and then I painted the other side of that plastic orange. The light shines through it really nice. I also put little round holes in the windows just for something different, and of course a light over the front door. To give you an idea of the kind of work involved, I'm just going to show you what I did with this one. Right, doggy? Using this screwdriver, I managed to pry the window frame out of there. So now I'm just going to cut the window out. Now I'm just going around with a thin jigsaw blade. I'm only going to do the 2 windows in this yellow one and none of them in the pink one. You know, for variety, it'll just be those 2 windows on the yellow one. I just wanted to point out a little bit of the materials used. Up in here, you'll see this is a light socket with a little screw-in LED lamp. Inside, you can see where the wire came through the wall there for the lamp outside. And of course, I covered the gaps up there with a little bit of silver ducting tape, which is nice because it helps reflect the light around inside. Up in there, I put a light strategically placed to shine directly on that orange. Each birdhouse carries a 9-volt battery and a harness thing. I think it's called a harness. And I will be using rechargeable 9 volts. We have them, but we also have some of these we might as well use up. As you can see, this building is one where I drilled some holes for light to come out. And no, the plastic bits aren't taped on. I just put the tape there to hold the thing while the glue dried. All of this inside the building is simple wiring. It's just positive to positive, negative to negative. And each birdhouse is operated with this on-off switch. As I mentioned, strategically placed. It shines right nice on there. Now, of course, with these buildings, you should face the back away from the viewer. But it's a convenient spot in this little tab there to house the on-off switch. If it's raining or inclement weather, it's just a simple matter of opening this up, just popping it inside. The switches, the battery harnesses, if that's what they're called, and the LED lamps and all that, I get bulk off of eBay. And you know, I think this looks really good. These houses look a little whimsical. I guess they're meant to be cottages. This one is themed as a mermaid. But you know, I can weather it, I can add details to it, I can repaint it, whatever. But for the price, you can't beat it. This yellow house and the cafe have been in a lot of my videos. I've had them for a long time. But they're also bird houses that came from HomeSense. However, about a week ago, I took delivery of a bunch of lights and switches and whatnot from Amazon and installed them in this yellow house and the cafe. And then it was after that that I went out and bought 4 more bird houses. So this is what it looks like outside. You can see that there's lights on through the front door and also the porch lights. Makes it a really pretty house. We can assume it's at night, the thing's closed, but we've got sign illumination. Yeah, it's quite nice. Now, you know, I can't do a video without a steam train showing how good these buildings are. And of course, what an appropriate place to start our rail adventure, but at Rangeley Station. This is my Accucraft Sabrina, which I've recently added radio control. I'll add a link to a video showing how we added remote control to this locomotive on the end screen of this video. This shot shows that these buildings are bird houses, of course. Everything's closed today because of the storm last night, so Henry and Marge are not here at the cafe. And speaking of last night, how about some shots of a video I took last night? This is my live steam Roundhouse Engineering Sandy River number 24. I'll leave a link on the end screen to last night's video.